Dapperton put out a video called Dads Matter, and it immediately made me think that he's having problems in the home. He definitely sounds like a guy who might lose custody at some point.
The problem with the...
Whoa, what? You're loud, by the way.
I think the problem with America, let alone the world, is relatively deep. But to break it down simply, it all starts with the problem of people breaking up the nuclear family.
Buddy. The reason that nuclear families break up is the real reason that the world has problems. Well, one of the reasons. And it's men. Men are the answer. It's almost always the man's fault. I hate to be a member of the guilty party here, but men leave a lot to be desired in a lot of situations. It would behoove you, although I know you won't, it would behoove listeners to, in general, pay attention to the things that your women partners say and try to, accommodate, them on that stuff. There's a big problem with the right wing where they go, I just don't understand women, I hate my wife type guys. And they just don't listen at all, And that's really where it's at. Instead, they do whatever this guy's fucking doing. You see, you can see his personality here. He's got, in his fantasy, he has bags of monies and old socks. He has guns and beachfront property, but he's obviously in a shitty motel or something. And it looks like he's paranoid and looking out the window for people that are coming after him.
And having single moms taking care of kids by themselves. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the mother and father being broken up, as long as the father sees the child and he's a relatively good father. But if the mother doesn't have a father figure for that child, that's the problem.
Yeah, I disagree. I don't think you need a father figure. In fact, most fathers leave a lot to be desired, Really, you just need enough people, preferably adults. You just need enough adults to raise the kid. It's not about, if one person can do it, it'll be fine. Obviously socialize with other people, but if you got the time, you can parent a kid. But really, usually we need division of labor because, tending to one human being's every single need might be a 24-hour job, and it's just too much for one person, So typically, it's just about that. The second thing is, of course, quite sexistly so. There's this notion that, you need men because you need to make a certain amount of money as well to live, which is part of the reason capitalism is stupid, because you need to pay gate. Just literally existing, you know what I mean? I shouldn't be financially penalized for existing. You feel me? I think if I need certain or want certain stuff, maybe we can charge for it. But anyway, he's gonna ramble about how dads, right? Can he give an example of his good parenting?
They need a stepdad. They need somebody. The mother can't be both the mother and the father. It does not work that way. The balance.
What is this fucking going to a Presbyterian funeral music?
It just simply isn't there. It needs to be two people, so one person could be the dusty, sentimental listening type, while
30-person church.
The other one teaches you to be tough and control your emotions. Yeah, but the point is, if the mother isn't there with some sort of father figure to be there, that could be a real freaking issue.
A real freaking issue. Is he going to give any examples? Is he going to discuss anything about why he believes such a stupid thing? He can't control his own emotions. He's going to see this video and freak out, and he'll be in these comments. Don't you mark my fucking words. You mark my fucking words. That little freak has already typed his message before he even saw me get to this point. He is a freak. He's a weird guy. I would love to talk to him anytime. He's always allowed to come into my chat and jump on stream and have a chit chat with me. That would be fun. I would enjoy that a lot.
People grow up without a father. They are lost, confused. They don't learn to cherish simple things like individual freedom.
They don't learn to cherish individual things like individual freedom? Simple things like individual freedom? When they don't have a dad? You don't think moms have... Oh, I see. That makes sense. Of course he doesn't think moms have individual freedom.
They tend to lean more towards security than freedom, which, as you know, is a terrible thing. But that's...
Security over freedom? What? Why does he think those are in dichotomy? I would argue that security provides you freedom. You know what I mean? Like, the more secure you are, I guess it depends on what he means by secure. When I say secure, I mean, like, you're safe and your needs are met. Women are emotional?
It's not all. They account for 63% of youth suicides.
What can the federal government do to decrease crime and revitalize communities? Fatherless children?
That's a huge deal. Then, for runaways, they account for 90% of all homeless and runaway youths. They account for 85% of all children that exhibit behavioral disorders. They account for 71% of all high school...
What is Live About? I've never heard... What? Fatherless children in America statistic. What is this? What? Is this your personal blog? Anyway, if you don't tie people's survival to the amount of income you have, and you don't pay women less than men, or typecast them in certain fields of work and stuff, you'll see this change quite a bit. If you go from fatherless children, if you look at just any home with multiple parents, like even if that parent is like a grandfather or something, grandma's around, as long as there's more than one parental sort of person in the picture, you're going to see way more. You don't need a father specifically. It's about how hard it is to raise kids in America because they capitalize everything, man. And for the record, a lot of this is going to be prison pipeline problems with this juvenile shit and this behavior sort of runaway. Like, a lot of this shit, the southern states really pump these fucking numbers because they put cops in fucking high schools and shit and get kids in the system soon. I'd say this, men's rights activists, actually, you should be very aware of how cops profile you and over police men, especially black men, but men in general. Men are, of course, the number one perpetrators of crime, but we can't acknowledge that.
They account for 7...
Why do they ever want to talk about that? Men perpetrate the most crime per capita. Not even close.
70% of juveniles in state-operated institutions. They even account for 75% of adolescents patients in substance abuse centers. And finally, 75% of rapists motivated by displaced anger. If you want your child to succeed, make sure he has a good...
75% of rapists motivated by displaced anger? I'm very suspicious about all of this, by the way.
Good father figure in his life. Not just for you, not just for him, but for society.
Motivated by displaced anger. Very suspicious.
I truly believe that this creates a lot of the bad actors that we have in society today. When you have no morals being taught to you, like what's right and what's wrong.
He's so sexist. Your wife can't, I guess your ex-wife can't deliver morals to a person? Your mom can't do that? Is your mom just a fucking brain dead? Like, huh? I mean, Dapperton is brain dead. Obviously, he can't even color in the fucking lines of his own illustration, dude. It's all over the place.
One of the things that you don't learn is that might doesn't make right. These type of people, these people that grow up without fathers, tend to believe that might does make right.
What? No. That's like the kind of the opposite. Men definitely teach might makes right a lot. That's all ANCAP is, literally, right? I would love to talk to him about this topic as well. No, I have the NAP will protect us.
And that action should be judged
gets killed
solely by its consequences only. So if the greater good is served by a little violence, then do that violence. That
might makes right, but if the greater good is served by violence, that you're literally you're describing might makes right, by the way. Might doesn't make right, said the dude who's opening has him killing folks disagreeing with him. It really does, doesn't it? Stop attacking my child, Jake. Oh yeah, I forgot. I thought you were calling Dapperton your child. And he is childlike in his intellect, but yeah, I get it now.
That's what they believe. This may sound okay on paper, but this is consequentialism. You know who was a consequentialist? Thanos. believed when he snapped his fingers and eradicated half of humanity.
Damn, that was real too. Do you remember? Where were you when Thanos snapped? Did you lose anybody in the Thanos Snapchat? Damn, I did. I was, not to brag, but I actually knew Spider-Man. We worked out together, as you can tell.
That he served the greater good.
Thanos was a dad, by the way.
Because now there's enough resources to go around for the rest of humanity.
Uh-huh. That's, yeah, man. Sure.
And obviously...
That's the resources.
Thanos was the bad guy in that movie, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for good reason. Consequentialists are bad people. These type
Consequentialists. I don't even know what makes that consequentialist. Like, if I kill half the people, then we will have stuff. Like, yeah, I guess that is a consequence. Do you not think things have consequences? I don't know. What are you against? I don't think consequentialism is what drove him to believe that.
people tend to be collectivists in nature and believe, for example, that we can steal from the rich using violence because it helps the greater good.
First of all, Robin Hood has illustrated this at a very early... Like, are you opposed to Robin Hood? First of all, you can steal from the rich to spread wealth and make collectively more people better off. Materially, that's true. But you don't have to steal from the rich to do that. You just have to stop allowing the rich to steal from us. You know? They're such cucks. Not very anarchist of him. Dude, he says he's an anarchist, but he wants a boss so bad. Like, listen to yourself, dog.
That's a consequentialist argument. Or in more extreme examples, kill the rich if the greater good is served.
So the French Revolution was justified, for instance. Yeah. Are you opposed to the death penalty? You ought to be.
But the people with fathers who are taught morals will say, no, those rich people's lives matter. Their individual rights matter. Might doesn't make right just because it serves the greater good. People with
The funeral music is killing this.
fathers are taught better ethics. For example, deontological ethics. These are the type of good ethics that are taught to people with parents.
With parents? He's anti-orphan now. My dad sat me down in between fifths of whiskey and said, let me teach you about deontology, son. After my 12-hour shift at the plant. He's at the plant. He doesn't know of deontology. What do you think he's doing at the plant?
The ones without parents around to teach them the good morals.
It's a wake for his marriage. That's tough.
Good ethics. They end up being consequentialists a lot of the time.
Uh-huh.
And if you're not convinced that fatherlessness leads to consequentialism, look at this.
Look at it.
Okay, there is 20% of 23.6% of Americans are consequentialists. Okay? And 23.6% of children
Who gives
in the
a fuck?
US
What are you talking
are
about?
fatherless. I shit you not. That is not a joke. Look at the stats yourself.
On your normative ethics paper, who gives a shit?
I know correlation doesn't equal causation.
Lane OTP, you shouldn't have a written record of that. Also, was it someone who deserved it?
But this is eerie. I may be onto something here.
I may be onto something. I don't think so.
But let's get back to the
I don't think he's onto something. This is sort of like Mud Fossil, but surprisingly less batshit.
issue. More and more mothers are raising their children being single because they're strong and independent
It
women.
was an elderly woman, so she was probably a racist. That's fine.
But they are undermining how important fathers are. And most importantly, how important those morals.
Who let this guy cook? Nobody. YouTube, I guess? Nobody let him. We gave internet access to everybody who could afford it, and he made the payment, and now he's here. This man is doing it himself. He's microwaving. He's not really cooking. He's nuking it.
That those fathers teach the children are. Believe it or not, fathers are extremely important.
Fathers are extremely important. So where's your kid in this depiction of you? Because you don't look like a guy who's taking care of his kids well. Even in your fantasy of yourself.
Christians know this. They know how important the nuclear family is.
So be a Christian, freak. Go be a little Christian so I can make fun of you even more.
This is why I love Christianity, because it promotes the nuclear family.
It doesn't promote the nuclear family. It promotes patriarchy. You're a dumb motherfucker. This is why I love Christianity. You're fucking embarrassing. You should be so fucking embarrassed that you put these on the internet. You should genuinely stop. Your kid is probably going to get to the age where he can read with help. What is he, like 11 or 12? So he could probably have an adult help him read. And he's going to be able to find this sometime after high school when he develops. And it's going to be embarrassing for him.
And it gets rid of a lot of society's problems. I think they're wrong about the God situation. I'm atheist. But I love the fact that they promote the nuclear family.
Yeah, because you're a fucking idiot. You're not even an atheist for good reasons, I bet. I would like to talk to him about that too. Hey, why are you an atheist? I bet he would be Christian by the end of the conversation, just to fucking spite me.
They get people enshrined with basic principles of morality because there's fathers teaching their children the basic principles of morality. They are less likely to do drugs, less likely to commit crime, less likely to get involved with an extreme ideology.
An extreme ideology, like a January 6er or a fucking ANCAP who hoards guns in a dusty hotel room? Like, huh?
We want to talk about biblical fathers.
Yeah, biblical fathers.
Abraham?
He didn't actually kill the kid. That's why you came in here, just to mention Abraham?
Yes.
Jesus Christ, cut that. Cut that from the fucking video. She's sick, she's rusty. She'll keep it.
Like radical leftism, for example. And less like
radical leftism. Dog, we all had dads. Come on. What are you talking about? Part of the reason I'm a leftist is because I had a dad. He has informed some of my shit. Definitely.
likely to become the cancer
Because he was a right-winger.
of the earth. Dads matter. That is the crux and
Dads
most important
matter.
message of this video.
Yeah,
So
man.
what does this mean?
I guess I didn't turn to crime.
If you're a mother, for the love of God, cherish your husband and do what you can to salvage that relationship.
Yeah, he's definitely going through a divorce. This is 100% a Cope post. This is hilarious. Please worship your husband. Why don't you fucking take those bags of money, go buy some socks. Take the mask off, stop doing these videos, and read a book. Read a goddamn book. Please. Any book. It doesn't matter. Be worth loving and you will be. That's true.
If you know of a stepdad that is actively helping taking care of a kid that doesn't have their real father readily available in a healthy way, then cherish that stepdad. I believe being a stepdad is probably pretty hard, and they don't get enough credit.
Rare W?
It's no secret that people that have stepdads usually grow up to be misguided, but they're not nearly as misguided as people who grow up with no dad. So cherish stepdads, especially cherish those who adopt. Adopt yourself if you can. People who need adoption are not only lacking a father figure, but a mother figure as well, and doubly need help. Point is, parents are important.
Dude, he sounds spitty. Parents are important. Yeah.
Can't stress enough how important a father figure is to a child's mind and psyche. It is
Mind psyche? Chad, this is hurting my mind psyche.
essential. Dads matter. Retweet this. Share this.
No. Stop it. If you want people to succeed, you need to meet their material expectations or the material needs. You need healthcare, housing, education. And you need them to be able to have fulfilled lives with cool communities and be able to love who they want and express themselves how they want. And then you'll have a happy life. It's really so simple. Because everybody wants to do that stuff. Every single person, ubiquitously, wants to have their needs met and wants to have a good time in ways that are comfortable for them. So, just do that. Just do that. Dapperton, you're a fucking idiot. You're invited onto the stream, but I know that instead of that, we're gonna get just a bunch of fucking crazy comments. He's already on comment 3 right now.